Hey guys, it's Kimise. I'm back for our weekly vlog, or should I say bi-weekly the last couple weeks. It's been kind of busy on the weekends, and sometimes, life takes over, right? So, glad that you guys are tuning in yet again. Thanks for hanging out with me. It is the 20th of October. Lots of awesome things going on. The Halloween's just around the corner. I know some of you guys get real excited about that. I know they've been doing Halloween all month on the Spiral, so always good times, right? Well, anyways, let's get you guys going up and let's do some quick updates on the channel first and get things happening. So, Firestorm walkthrough. We are in Imperia now. Yes, we are in the last world of the third arc of the third arc, and we're in part one. I always consider Imperia two worlds. You got a part one world, part two world. So I don't think of it as like one long world. I think of it as two worlds, and that gives us the total of 4 worlds for arc 3, which is probably one of the best well-written arcs that they have. Really interesting, good times, lots of consequence, fun mechanics in there. So one of my favorite sections. So Imperia is a really cool world. I enjoy it. Not my favorite of the arc. I think I've mentioned that now, that Mirage is my favorite of that third arc world. But I'm super excited to be working through Imperia. I forgot how difficult the bosses can be, as you might have known if you watched the last couple of episodes. But that's okay. It just means we got to come up with a mechanic and a way to arrange our deck so that we can win. Alrighty, so let's hear. Let's stay on King's Isle for a moment. We've been hit with a lot of things these last 2 weeks. Teasers for Test Realm. So, people have been asking, and I think the spells, like they laid out some brand new spells for Krakatopia, which look awesome. The Baboon spell for Myth, I think, is going to be really, really neat. A lot of them look cool. Some of them is like, the fire spell doesn't like get me excited or anything, but there's always going to be a spell that you look at and say, meh, that was the one for me. But other than that, the other ones look pretty cool. I think they've definitely kept to the to that theme, and it's nice seeing some Krakatopia themed spells, because we haven't had any Krakatopia themed spells, have we? Yeah, not particularly, except for like some of the card spells you can pick up here and there from Krakatopia. So it'll be nice to have an actual themed spell you can learn. I'm not sure how that's going to roll out or not yet, so they haven't laid out any of that, but that's great. The dual blade spells that they're going to be dropping, I'm pretty excited. I think that can be pretty useful for any character trying to do a dual school type of setup, so I think that's looking really, really good. And this new spell fusion thing looks interesting. I'm holding back, my final thoughts on this, because I'm not exactly sure what the mechanics are going to be like, whether it'll be worth doing it, whether you build the spells before, whether you just do it in your deck. It would definitely change how you build decks depending on deck meta and everything, especially if you want to use those spells. I think that's one of the interesting things about deck metas and everything that are out there, is a lot of people tend to want to either be real strong on using the best deck ever meta, which is fine. I mean, a little 5 or 6 card deck is fantastic. And some of us like variety. I like to have a little more variety, although that can cause problems in bigger fights. But anyways, a little more variety, and so having a couple spells you can cast here and there are pretty neat too. I looked at the spell fusions they've leaked. They look pretty cool. Definitely a new way to play, and something new and interesting to do. So I'm looking forward to the test realm and for some more feedback as we start getting some of these out there. So should be pretty interesting. Monday night streams will be back Monday. We're going to be doing some side questing with my balance. Hopefully we'll see you guys there. Looking forward to hanging out with you guys. It's always one of the best times of the weeks when I get those streams going, which means I'm also going to be getting back to my Pirate 101 streams on Wednesday nights. Not sure exactly how Pirate 101 is going to look yet. I do want to go ahead and go back and knock out the walkthrough episodes so we can add the new content that's been added. I haven't played it yet. I'm looking forward to it. Should be pretty cool. And I do want to go ahead and do either a swashbuckler walkthrough or a formalized privateer walkthrough, because both of those classes really interest me a lot. But I probably won't be doing any of that until maybe December. Yeah, I'd really like to finish off Imperia before I add the pirate back in. So let me know down in the comments. Are you excited to see pirate come back? Is this something you want to hear about? Otherwise, negatives, let me know if you don't want to hear about it. I'd like to get that feedback. Okay, Minecraft. So this week, you'll notice in this week's video, I'm working on the walls. So it's a lot of grindy work right now. And it's been really hard to get time in Minecraft just because of school and how tired I am and everything. But hopefully I'll be able to get some more stuff done over this week. And we're going to go check out a new shop that's opened up, the trim shop, and see all the different trims that he has over there. So it's awesome to see Orange Face on the server. By the way, guys, you can join the server. It's whitelisted. It's a small community, but we get on when we can and we have fun, and it's a lot of fun to play with everybody on the server. Anybody who supports the channel, whether through memberships here on YouTube or through my Patreon, you get full access to play with us and hang out. So there you go. Okay, so what's on my mind this week? Well, I want to tell you one of the adventures I had in high school. This was a lot of fun. So my junior year in high school, we got invited to go sing at the White House for Christmas. Yeah, that was good times. In fact, it was something that we had a really fun choir director, and he figured out how to do this. He took choirs there multiple times, and so my junior year was the year that we got invited. And so I was in the choir. We had a show choir, and that's the choir that we took. And it was really interesting. So basically, we flew out, and we spent like 3 days in Washington, D.C. We toured all the places. We went to the mints. We went to all the different monuments, like the Jefferson Monument, the Lincoln Monument. We went to the Vietnam Memorial. We went to all the fun museums. We went to the Smithsonian Museum, the Air and Space Museum. Oh, let me tell you, Washington, D.C. is one heck of a trip. If you've never been to Washington, D.C., I highly recommend it. But I'm going to tell you about the big reason why we made the trip. I mean, it was to actually sing at the White House. And so it was Christmas time, and George H. Bush, Herbert Walker, H.W. Bush, he's the first Bush. He was in office from 88 to 92. And yes, that was when I was in high school, from 88 to 92. The entire time I was in high school, I had George H.W. Bush as the president. Well, it didn't feel long ago, a while ago, but now it's starting to feel a really long time ago. Anyway, so we were singing, and I had a solo part during one of the carols we were doing, and it was a lot of fun. There was just people doing cocktail parties. We were singing in the West Wing, okay, which is the big I guess it's kind of like a reception area that they use for a variety of different things. And it was good times. There was all sorts of different people in nice outfits. It was some sort of Christmas party. Unfortunately, the president wasn't there at the time of us singing. He actually left and did something else. But that was okay. So one of the nice things about the trip is that they were giving us a tour of the White House, our choir group, after we sang. So they were walking us through, and they were trying to speed us along. But I had a friend. He had stomach issues, and he had to go to the bathroom because he had probably eaten something that wasn't so good for him the day before, and so he was holding us up, and they were trying to rush us through and everything. And this was back in the time where we had disposable cameras and everything, so it was funny. We were walking through. He was getting pictures. I wasn't a big camera person, but it was so funny. We were walking through, and apparently the president had come back afterwards, and if he hadn't taken his time and have to stop at the bathroom and slow the tour down, we would have missed the president entirely. But because he had to go to the bathroom and he was stuck in there for a little bit, that slowed us down. So we got to meet the president at the time and his wife, I believe, Barbara. Oh, it's been a long time. So it was really, really great, and it was funny. He was getting a picture of us shaking hands, and at one point he drops his camera, it breaks open, and all the film gets exposed, and he had the saddest look on his face. Well, anyways, that was my Washington, D.C. White House singing trip story. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Guys, I'm super stoked about the rest of the year, and I hope everybody else has a good, strong year here at the end. Got a few questions that have popped up, and I'm always excited to do that. So what are my major hobbies? Well, I talk about these from time to time, and I've got a few major hobbies. One, I love to read. I love to read fantasy books. Those are like my favorite ones. In fact, I've been reading this one series by a guy named by Jonathan Gwynn, and it's a really neat Norse type of mythology, North mythic world that's based upon that, but not based upon that. It's really cool. You have these giant monsters, gods, and everything, and there's all sorts of really interesting stuff. Probably my favorite fantasy book that I've ever read. Well, there's a lot of good ones, but I'll tell you what, the Wheel of Time series, one of the best series out there. Go check it out. And if you've never looked at some of the Brandon Sandersons, probably one of my favorite writers out there right now, you should go ahead and check him out. Now, I do build and do make stuff with wood. That's another big hobby of mine. And I do write songs when I get a chance. I've been pretty busy. Right now, I'm making special gifts for my kids for Christmas. I'm making chess sets. So I just started carving out all the pieces. I've already got the chessboards made. I think you might see them on some of my posts out there and everything. But I've been carving out the chess pieces because I make all the chess pieces. I'm also making checker pieces for each one of those sets. And so I'm trying to get those all done by Christmas. Also got a very on the low secret present I'm making for my wife for our 30th anniversary. So as I start to get that together, I'm probably not going to post it because it's a big secret. I don't want her to know. But I'm super excited about what I'm building her, and I'll be posting some pictures of those later on. If you guys want to know any more about my hobbies or interests or anything, I'd love to answer for those. I'll always reserve a section of time on this for questions